So, you were source energy before you came into these physical bodies. You don't remember that, and there's a reason that you don't, but you were. You were source energy before you came into these physical bodies, and now you are an extension of that source energy. So here you are, focused, just as you intended to be, focused upon the things of your time-space reality, and you are utilizing your focus to help you personally, independently, identify your preferences. Sometimes you don't really grasp that. You don't really understand how perfect it is and how important it is that you deliberately choose. So anyway, that's step one. You ask for what you want, and you can't stop asking because life just continues to serve itself up to you in ways that cause you to identify your preferences. It happens all day, every day, at all levels of your being. It's really what the evolution of all species is about. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. If someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. If you're rude, you want to be nicer. If you're unhappy, you want to be happier. If something's gone wrong, you want it to go right. In other words, if you don't have enough of something you want more of it. It's a very simple equation, not hard for you to figure it out, and you're doing it all day, every day. But what you may not know is that every time, whether you speak it out loud or not, something happens like that, you are launching these vibrational preferences. And the larger part of you is aware of the preference that you have launched and becomes it, because your inner being is unconditional. Your inner being rides the rocket of your desire. When you say, I prefer something, your inner being doesn't say, well, there aren't that many of them going around. Your inner being doesn't say, well, that's risky business and it's unlikely. Your inner being doesn't say, you don't have the education for that or the money for that or the background for that. When you launch a rocket, a request, a preference, a desire, your inner being becomes a vibrational match to it immediately. And because you are an extension of that inner being who has become a match to it, now you hold the potential of splitting your energy if you don't become a match to it too. You see how it works? When you say, I want that, the source within you says, done. We're there. We've got it. We're a vibrational match to it. Because everything that manifests is first a vibrational frequency. And the source within you will give you this, can more easily match your desires because in the energy stream, it is immediate. In your manifestational world, you've got some bugs to work out of your vibrational frequency. Source doesn't have to work those bugs out because Source already believes in you. Source already knows your value. Source already knows your worthiness. Source remembers why you came and who you are. So when you launch a rocket about something that you would like more of, Source is right there in that frequency. And in fact, the only reason that any of you ever feel any slight or strong negative emotion is because Source finds the frequency, the fullness of the desire that you have launched, and when you don't, there's vibrational discord between you and Source. Does that make sense to you? The only reason, if there were ever a way for you to understand that Source exists, it must be in your emotional awareness. Because if there were not someone keenly interested in you and holding a vibrational frequency about you, then you could think anything you want and you would feel no vibrational variance. That's something really to think about. When you feel negative emotion, it always means the same thing. You've got a different opinion about this than Source has about this. And that's something else we really want you to hear. Source does have an opinion about this, and this, and this, and this. Now. Source adores you. When you're mad at yourself, you've got a split going on. There's a gap widening. Source adores the people of this planet. When you carve out a section of them and hate them, you've got a rift going on between you and Source. You will never be able to be in alignment with Source when you hold hate in your heart because of some condition that you can't control. As you get to know Source better through your awareness of what it feels like to be in alignment, you can learn in a matter of days how Source feels about everything that is active on your planet today. You can just give it the emotional test. When you think a thought and you feel love, you can know Source is in agreement with this thought. And when you think a thought and you feel fear, you can know Source is not anything close to an agreement on this thought. So once you get clear about what this emotional guidance system is, then you can get on with what you've come to get on about. Then you can be the deliberate creator. You can be or do or have anything that you choose because you've got this backup. So step one is contrast helps you to define what you want. You do it all day, every day. And step two is Source becomes it vibrationally immediately. Wrote a whole book about that called Ask and It Is Given, and that's what it was about. That when you ask, Source becomes the vibrational equivalent of it. The energy that creates worlds. Imagine that. The energy that creates worlds. The vibrational equivalent to your desires. Keeping the light on, keeping the vibration steady, so that anytime you get in the vicinity or away from the vicinity, you'll know where you are in relationship to it. Helps you to zero in on who you really are and what you really want, to become the fullness of all that you are. So your work really is a step 3 part of this 3-step process. Now step 4 process, but the step 3 process we talked about for so many years. Ask, Source answers, and then you must find a way to become a vibrational match to what you're asking for. In other words, you can't want something and doubt it and get it. You can't want something and be mad that you don't have it and get it. You can't want something and be impatient about it. The flight attendant said, "Thank you for your patience." And Esther said, "You're confused about who." You must be talking about the previous flight, because no patience happening here. You can tell by the way you feel whether you are in alignment or whether you are not. So we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. We're going to help you to find some ways, if you want them, to line up easily with who you are and what you want. In some ways, some of the things that we will suggest today, you will stubbornly protest against a little bit, because it's just going to seem too simple. And some of the things that we're going to say to you and promises that we're going to make to you, you may even doubt a little bit, because they're just words that sort of kind of make sense, and maybe you feel resonance with them, but you haven't had the manifestational evidence in your life yet about it. But we know that with just a little bit of listening and a little bit of resonating and a little bit of awareness and then a little bit of focusing, that you will find manifestational evidence about everything that we talk about here today. You're going to know precisely how your thoughts become the reality that you are living, so that not only you are aware of it, but others who are observing you as well. So as we've been talking to you about launching these rockets of desires, we also wrote a book about where they go. We called it The Vortex. It's this vibrational reality. It's this vibrational reality that you cannot yet see or hear or smell or taste or touch. You can feel it emotionally. Well, that's just annoying to people. We spend a lot of time trying to talk you into getting into the vortex where everything you want is. And you were very nice to us. No one ever got up and left the room. Well, just that one guy. But you were interested about the vortex, but you began saying things like, "Okay, so my fortune's in the vortex, Abraham. I want it to come out of the vortex and into my bank. Because it's nice knowing that I've created realities that I can't see yet, or that others can't see, but really, how long can this go on? How long do you think you can keep me hopeful about things that aren't tangible?" And we say, it was never your intention to come and live without the tangibility. You are in a time-space reality where you can measure your existence through your manifestations. We just want you to understand that if you've got a vibration going on that is keeping you from being a vibrational match to what you want, the manifestation that you want cannot come. And you wouldn't want it to. You wouldn't want it to. So Then we began talking to you about, so here's all of this vibrational reality, and you're going, yeah, we accept it, get on with it. How do I get it into my reality where I can see it, where others can see it? And so we began talking about your point of attraction. For a while we called it a grid. It's your point of attraction. It's like the framework of who you are, looking for different ways to help you feel the reality of your point of attraction. Your point of attraction, where you stand. And mostly it's about how you feel right now. How do you feel right now? What's your mood? What is the mood that is swirling around you? Because your mood is the best indicator that you have, your mood, to let you know what the vibrational atmosphere is that you've got going on. And your vibrational atmosphere matters because it is your point of attraction. How you feel, your mood, the thoughts you're thinking, the beliefs you hold, what's going on, the conversations you have, how you move in the world, how you feel in the world, what you're doing now. Right now, you have a relationship with your vortex. Right now, you have a relationship with your vibrational reality. And the question that we want you to ask yourself is the relationship that you have with something that's in your vibrational reality, in your vortex, is the relationship you have one of holding it away? And you can tell by the way you feel whether you are holding it away or whether you are allowing it in. You can also tell by whether it's coming in or not. In other words, we're not asking you to just hold yourself in this emotional state of being and just take our word for it. What we're saying to you is take our word for it, hold yourself in the emotional state of being, and watch the evidence move from your vibrational reality into your reality until before long you will have such confidence in your ability to manifest anything that you desire, because you will have discovered what kinds of things you've been doing that have been preventing the things that you want from coming easily. And we can tell you in a very succinct, nutshell kind of a sentence what it mostly is. Your observation of the conditions that exist now are the reason that you keep repeating a pattern that holds away the things you want. It really is that simple. You got to change the way you look at things. You got to reorient yourself. You've got to become more vibrational interfacing. You have to trust the way you feel. You have to accept that you have guidance. You have to accept that your guidance is always leading you toward what you want. And you have to be aware of when you're moving toward what you want and when you're not moving toward what you want. And you have to accept that the emotions that you hold are the indicator of whether you're moving closer or further. You can just tell. You'll get so good at this that you'll be in the middle of a conversation and you'll stop talking right in the middle of it because you'll realize that you're moving away from what you want rather than toward what you want. So often, in your quest to make someone else understand what you mean, who's in a different vibrational frequency and is not hearing what you mean, in your attempt to get them to hear what you mean, you are responding to the condition of them not hearing. So you are basing what you are saying based upon what they are not hearing, and then you join them in their frequency rather than maintaining yours, and then instead of them hearing what you mean, you hear what they mean, and nothing changes. Oh, you got that, didn't you? So, let's just start talking about some stuff that's important to you, and let's make everything that we said just now more tangible for you. We want you to feel your thoughts becoming manifested. We want you to feel the movement of the vibration into awareness, into emotion, and then into see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, tangible, manifested stuff, just like you intended. You're not here just to accumulate stuff, but you are here as a masterful creator. You're here to mold the energy. And how your life is playing out is evidence of how you're doing. What do you want to talk about? There's a lot of trouble in this room. Going to have a wonderful day. Just relax and trust that it will unfold perfectly. Stand if you think it's you. So, what do you want to talk about?